All right, we're back. Apologies for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Got to get our ads in there. ESL would be mad at us otherwise. And we're actually already into a draft again, Liz. Would you believe it already? They didn't waste any time. And this time around, we will remember that it's Tigers and TNC as opposed to TNC Tigers.
Would you believe they put pineapples in bagels?
I wouldn't. There's some interesting things happening here in Germany. There's also some interesting things happening in the draft. Would you believe it or not?
Draft? Let's go.
Let's have it up there. Stop looking at our faces. Start looking at the game. And look at this. We've already got some spicy picks coming out. We've actually got a Phoenix and a Kunkka coming out in the first phase.
We have some pretty faces here, right? We have Tiny and Phoenix on one side, and on the other, we have the Wyvern and the Kunkka. I really like the openings. So, Tiny and Phoenix, they're basically, Tigers are saying again, we're drafting our own thing. We like this. This is how we draft. That's what we're going to do. So with Tiny and Phoenix, you have a setup for the egg. Well, not really truly a setup, but if you use that egg, you have the Avalanche always to kind of mess with them so they can't really take it down. Also, one really good thing about Tiny plus Phoenix is that it's a really strong lane if you decide to lane them together. However, TNC is trying to counter them a little bit again. So if you put this Tiny on mid, Kunkka is one of the few heroes that I think Kunkka is really good versus Tiny. Like he can deal with him.
There's no kill potential with the Avalanche boss. If you put him on a tower as well, Kunkka's a beefy boy. He doesn't care as much as, for example, if you were to put a Lina there. Yeah. Lina would die.
So it can go either way though. It's not like Kunkka is a counter. It's a skill-based matchup. Tiny versus Kunkka, it can go either way, but Kunkka has a slight edge there with the X marks the spot as he can set up the ganks a bit easier. Wyvern pick, it's just a strong support, and that's what it is. Wyvern is definitely on top of my list of very strong supports right now. It can be played as 3 as well. We have seen SEA Dotes pick it as 3. Like, it has been played as offlane. However, most of the time it's either 5 or 4. And the best thing about Wyvern is that even if he's a 5, even if she is a 5, she's gonna get a lot of farm just by out-pushing the waves with the Splinter Blast. So, a nice pickup.
Yeah, I mean, let's not be deceitful here, all right? It was from your area, the European region, that we first saw people trying to run it as a POS-free, the Win at Wyvern. Was it Wind and Rain, I believe, were doing it through the TI qualifiers?
Yep. I mean, the position 3 Wyvern was used even like a year ago. I think it was Ice that first started.
Yeah, it was.
And after that, like, people haven't been picking it as much. But in the TI qualifiers, as you said, like, it re-emerged in the CIS scene and Europe as well. So people started picking it again. So it can be played on 3 as well. But 4 and 5, I think, are my favorites, definitely.
It's also kind of interesting. You were talking earlier about the Phoenix Egg and how Avalanche can cover that. It's kind of interesting when you think that deep into the thought process. Is this creates this kind of force on TNC to pick more ranged heroes, which typically happen to be a lot more squishy than your melee heroes, which means Tiny potentially has more pick-off targets.
Yeah, and Phoenix also deals much better with those squishier targets than he does with tanky beasts. However, those squishier targets usually hit faster, something like a Clinks. Like something like a Weaver. They might have issues with those heroes.
So
Nature's Prophet, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've been seeing this almost exclusively as a POS 5.
Yeah. I'm not certain about SEA.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Tigers. They said this wasn't as much of a nightmare for us, but surprise, TNC, are they running a Kunkka 4?
I think so. That makes the most sense. After all, he has been picked in the first phase. Kunkka 4 is not picked a lot in CIS and EU, but yeah, it can definitely still work. It's an alright hero. Basically before, his biggest strength was the X marks the spot, as it had a huge range. But yeah, it did get nerfed, but I think the position for Kunkka can definitely still work. TA, however, again, second phase first pick. Tigers have to deal with this properly now. They go with Ember.
I mean, it's an interesting proposition. Ember isn't the worst hero, but at the same time, it's kind of like the Monkey King matchup. Why the Monkey King matchup, while it's slightly Monkey King favored, is a lot closer than people realize, is because you have no way of getting rid of Flame Guard, but on the flip side, they do so much damage they don't necessarily care about Flame Guard. TA is that same type of hero.
The good part... Oh, and you know what?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we have a draw. I was wondering, the last game draw wasn't picked or banned. Like draw ogre, that's what we see all the time here. So it was interesting that draw was completely neglected. However, this time they go with the draw and they have the TA as well. And this TA, if she didn't care about the Flame Guard before, she's definitely not gonna care now.
I mean, this was a genius move from Ninja Boogie and was drafting, right? Because you pick that Kunkka, we're like, okay, mid Kunkka. Then you're like, okay, pulse 4 Kunkka. But you're so fixated by the surprise of the TA pick. The fort doesn't even process your mind. This could be a Drow pickup next.
Oh, and that draw. She helps out the Wyvern as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I've seen a lot of drafts with Wyvern plus draw, like, in which Wyvern was 3. So it gives you that opportunity as well. It most likely is still position 5 Wyvern. Let's not be fooled.
I mean, this is still very scary though. Like, I'm looking right now, and I'm kind of matching hero to hero what they can do. Tigers are so reliant on this Tiny right now.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong with his lane, where's your bounce back? Because Drow, Gust, very good against the Phoenix and the Ember. Nature's Prophet is a pos 5. You do not play well from behind. In fact, we've seen plenty of games that are lost because all your Prophet can do is TP away from the fight and hit a Meteor Hammer on a tower.
So the Prophet here might work well versus the TA if you just dive her under the tower with the Ember early on with some Flame Guard and Searing Chains, because Prophet can always gank that mid lane, which might help versus the TA, because you have to deal with her, but at the same time you have to deal with the Drow as well. And if you lane Phoenix Tiny versus Drow Wyvern, I don't think, like, you can win that lane, but it's not like you have to dominate it super hard. I believe Wyvern and Drow can stand versus Tiny and Phoenix.
Well, just think of the slow potency, right? Tiny has a lot of health, but he's not the fastest moving hero. On top of that, he has no armor. These two just pummeling into him. The Phoenix has to hit the mark every time with the fast spirits.
And the Lina.
This is looking lethal.
Definitely. This is looking so strong from TNC. I mean, at the same time, though, they are fairly squishy, right? And you can deal with them. Like, we talked about Phoenix Tiny, like, they don't have to win that lane, but they can win it. So if Drow is a little bit out of the...
Clinks. I just really... Like you were saying it earlier. It seems perfect here.
5 seconds left.
You know, for that way, like they're so whole in on the right-click potency of ranged heroes here. And you said the glass cannons. Could this be, like, is there room for a Clinks? Do you move... Because you got your supports in my... Like, either way you look at it, either Nature's Prophet as a support or Tiny as a support. In fact, I think I'd rather see Nature's Prophet as a core here, just because Phoenix wants to be a 5, but so does MP.
The problem with Prophet support here, the prophet with Prophet.
The prophecy of the Prophet is that the Prophet...
Yeah. The problem with the Prophet offlane here, like being a core, is that Wyvern is one of the better heroes versus him. So if you buy like 4 mangoes on Wyvern and you go on that lane, yeah, you're gonna push, but you're gonna deal with his treants very, very easily. And because of that, maybe I don't like it so much. They go for lit.
Okay, what?
Right?
This is a different way to go, Tigers. They feel, you know what? Shut the hell up, KP. We don't need a Clinks. We need just to starve the lanes of XP.
All right. I mean, Prophet plus Lich Lane. Is that what's happening, or is it going to be Prophet plus Phoenix?
No, I think it... surely it's Prophet versus plus the Phoenix. I'm trying to think, like... And no, you could go full defensive, I guess, with the Nature's Prophet Lich Lane. The problem is, if you're too defensive, you're just giving good Splinter Blast opportunities to Ninja Boogie all the time.
The thing is, Lich is even played much more on the safe lane right now.
Yeah.
Like, as that. But then you have, what, Lich plus Tiny? It's
pretty horrific. I mean, well, no, in fairness, the armor, right? So we said the biggest problem with Tiny is you slowly get whittled down. If you start maxing out the armor, I mean, that's something.
I mean, overall, Lich is decent versus Drow, right? Because of that armor. It helps out, definitely, versus Drow strategies. But, man, like, their draft, the draft on the side of Tigers just looks very interesting, in my opinion. And while on TNC we have something very straightforward, you have the Drow strategy and that's it. Tigers, they have to have good lanes. They have to get good early levels on their Phoenix. And then perhaps they can do movements. But... I don't know. If I was to bet right now, I would bet on TNC all the way.
I mean, luckily we don't have to do predictions. That would make us biased casters. But
I'm not biased.
yeah, I know, but I can see where you're coming from,
Yeah,
right? I'm looking at TNC's lineup, and last time we're kind of sitting there going, okay, it's kind of all on the TA here.
You do have the Phoenix egg into Sprout, man.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
one of
kind
the best combos ever.
wow. I guess it's probably the best combo, seeing as CIS and EU are the only regions catching on to the Tree and Phoenix combo.
Oh, that's so good, actually.
Yeah, I can't believe every other region's ignoring it right now. It's one of the most potent duos you can come up with.
Well, they did pick a tree of their own.
Yeah,
right?
they
do have the
they didn't want the big tree. They want the tree daddy. Okay, this guy, he commands the trees. He commands the forest to do his beckoning.
They're basically stepping us up one level, and that's it.
I should hope so, because they're going to need to. Because so far this series, guys, best of 3, it's game 2. TNC Predator have already taken game 1. Tigers need this to stay in it. And it is worrisome, because as we said, looking at it right now, if you were a better man, TNC looking like the better choice, because last time it was all on this TA. This Templar Assassin had to deliver well, right? But this time, look at the power spikes, right? The Drow, you have to stop the Drow, or everyone else does well. And the Lena's going to be damn lethal too.
Mm-hmm. You can't neglect the fact that Tigers, they do have a lot of ammo in their team fight, right? Like in their team fighting arsenal. Like, look at this. They have the Phoenix, they have the Tiny, they have the Ember. So the Lich even with his ultimate. So if you do manage to get decent team fights, you can definitely take this game if you're Tigers. But at the same time, if you let this Drow go out of control, you might find yourself in a lot of trouble very, very early on.
I do like the Lich is prioritizing sacrificing the outer creep. Usually we see them focus mid, but I think the thing with Ember is it's a very different dynamic in that lane, in that most heroes will just casually just get rid of one at a time, whereas typically as an Ember you'll level Flame Guard and immediately just burn the entire wave.
Yeah, exactly. So you're gonna push that lane anyway, and it doesn't really help you that much early on. The Kunkka and the Lina lane, though, not something we see very often, but this Lina is
scary.
Yeah, this Lina is gonna. They already devoured it as well, so another 100 gold for Kunkka. You might opt to go for that stick instantly or save up for boots.
Yeah, a little bit back and forth on the warding. But yeah, it's that kind of case of Kunkka getting quick boots. Like, any melee support that gets quick boots is quite scary.
Look at that. Look at that little bird on mid. Look at him. He was just standing there between towers waiting for the courier. However, the courier was not used by TA at all so far.
Yeah, not feeling like she's in a rush to actually bring anything out. And that's kind of the benefit in this type of lane. Of course, you're going to take a little bit of damage, but the tangos will be enough, especially once you get level 2 and get your hands on the refraction.
Yeah, it's really good for them as well. Like, they did not see the Phoenix, so they waited with the courier anyway.
Oh. And this kind of thing I was going to highlight is there'll be a lot of back and forth on this mid lane, but when it comes down to it, the kind of catch is that you have to be careful as the Ember, right? Any melee hero facing off against Sideblades has to be very cautious.
Yeah, and if you're TA, like, there's skill potential on both sides here. Well, in the last game, I actually couldn't believe that DK died solo to the TA. Yeah, but he still used the Dragon form, so that was really weird. However, in this game, Ember can definitely take down TA and vice versa, so...
Do you feel like, actually, like, we talked about a few things that make Templar Assassins so damn strong in the current meta, right? The ability to go back and forth between lane farming. But there's also, I think it's fair to say, in the current meta, the first 2 or 3 creep waves are the most crucial element in the first 10 minutes.
They definitely are. They make or break your lane. However, TA, what's really also good about her is as soon as she gets that level 5, she's even stronger. So there's that. She has multiple power spikes.
Yeah, it's also the case that on top of that, the way refraction works.
Bottom lane, Lina.
Is Lina in a little bit of trouble? Oh, bot lane, yes, she is. Cuckoo. Looks like it's going to be the first blood. The farm, but no. Very far out. She needs one more touch. He'll be able to find it. The big tree into the face of the Lina. She will fall. There's your first blood.
He gets the tree grab off cooldown just in the right time to take that exact tree, which is
give him vision
his
as well.
Yeah. And to smack her in the head. So that was really nice.
Beautifully done. They assert dominance at the start of this bot lane. And, you know, we didn't talk about the matchup that ended up being the Lich plus the Tiny, but I think that was the better choice for them here.
Oh, definitely. Kunkka and Lich here just trading some hits.
I mean, we said, right, if you put the Phoenix with the Tiny, that's the most potent one, but then Nature's Prophet is very underwhelming.
So, now that the Phoenix is level 2, they might look to
Okay, that was a little bit too close for comfort there, actually, in the mid lane. In your dream, one tap from being killed. But I was going to say that earlier on when we were talking about the reasons the TA gets picked up a lot, I think one of the reasons well is the fact that refraction, if you use it on denies, and with denies being so powerful, you don't lose charges.
Yeah, and you can still hit with Psyblades. Oh, Lina bottom.
Lina tossed back here in the mess. They're both together. Tim's taking a lot of damage, but they're going to go for Cuckoo first. Torrent comes out. Light Strike Array not connecting on anyone. The X to actually bring Ajit back, but they're going to keep chasing. 1, 4, 3, 7, and Zephyr, they might better get this to burn. It's not going to be enough. Staying alive. Cuckoo. No, Frost Blast. It's going to slow him. I'm not sure it's enough. Light Strike Array, the turnaround. Actually doing damage. He says, I'm going down, but I'm going to take you with me. The Torrent does not connect on the Zephyr. He'll just salve up. Maybe not the best choice. I feel like actually Cuckoo could have escaped that with a Light Strike Array.
I think so as well. I guess he was worrying about another Frost Blast. So that's probably the reason why he didn't. Also, yeah, TNC's offlane is not doing great. Like Lina died twice already, but she has CS. Like she has levels. It's not horrible, and their mid lane is doing really fine as well. So
yeah, the mid lane is actually getting much better. The amount of regen that is being forced to ferry out for In Your Dream is getting a little bit worrying, especially with the difference in CS already.
Yeah, Lina kind of getting low again, but the thing is. Oh, mid, Armel. Are they going
no, Haste, they're going on Armel. They need to actually get this kill. They're lurking early, but the Searing Chains is there, and they'll find the kill on them. That's actually a big one as well.
That's really great. They have ways of dealing with the TA this game. They have something with which they can take down the charges, their fractions. So that's good. That's definitely good. If you draft versus TA, you might win versus TA.
I mean, if in fairness, you actually think about it, the more you look at these heroes, it is an anti-TA lineup, right? You got the Ember to burn through, you got the Phoenix of the burns, you've got the Avalanche from Tiny, which just burns all the refractions in one go.
And then you have Lich to even shield you versus the TA and the minus armor that she brings to the table. So that's good.
Yeah, enjoy your right-click damage when it does nothing. Same with like Sprout. It's just everything, actually. The more I think about it, this is why they left the hero in the draft. Is they went, okay, we're just going to run an entire TA
They're
counter.
They're going to go on Phoenix. Is he going to be able to...
Zephyr, dive away. He'll be fine. The final hit. No! Oh, just a little bit too much damage. Cast a curse coming out there. Got to respect the damage to the TA with the level 3 refraction.
Yeah, he definitely didn't expect to die there.
I mean, he was, what, 150? That was very close. The problem is, Phoenix doesn't have any armor.
The problem is he doesn't have any armor, and they're getting more levels on Drow, which means she's gonna have more levels in Precision Aura, which means TA is gonna hit harder much earlier than you would expect her to.
And this is pre-6 Drow. It should be pointed out, we haven't even hit the big power spike of the marksmanship yet.
Oh, like they need... Yeah, what they're doing right now is they're putting two men on mid, so you have the Phoenix and the Ember versus the TA, because she got level 6 before Ember. Ember cannot solo this lane anymore.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's like it's a double-edged sword, right? Like you're basically slowing the rate at which you get 6 on Ember, and now you might be in trouble. The Serum Chain's gonna come out. One more tap is gonna burn out the trap. The TP gets cancelled, but Zephyr we chased on to force use the Icarus dive, and that's the thing is like yes, it's hard to be there, but if you just leave the Ember alone and he gets 6.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's definitely well said. Top lane?
Going in. They're diving actually pretty deep here. They'll find Mumianda. He got left alone. And now Ember's going top. He's not level 6 still. He's 3-on-1. He needs to be careful. There's going to be an X there. Slow down the Frost Arrows. They're not even going to use the Torrent. The drag him back. Looks like they leave Ninja Boogie for dead.
Yeah, I think they would have turned on him, but they saw that he got that 6 there, so they opted not to. It's a smarter choice, definitely. A safer one, at least.
Definitely a risky maneuver coming out In Your Dream, but I guess the logic now is maybe they stick Mumianda mid. Just be careful with the Treants. Of course, you got the Sprout to actually stop Armel. It's not likely he's going to get a Quillen Blade.
Yeah, you have the same problem again, though. Like, this TA is out of control once again. Armel just stomped him the last game, and this game, he's looking really strong again. Look at Moon. Like, he just got hit by 2 Psyblades. Has no HP already.
This is the Congo line of size as well. It's like he's controlling his own trees, but you can see the way he's controlling them is always close to him.
Top lane, they're diving the Drow.
They are going in pretty deep, actually. Gabby down to half HP. They might be able to get in the Gust on cooldown. The Torrent on the 2, though. Gabby still gets clipped by the Fire Spirit, so he will tick out. Mumianda did rotate up, but he needs to be careful himself. But actually, with 3 heroes here, they say just hit the tower.
No, this is the push. This is the push, but this is also the problem.
This is the trade as well, though.
Yeah, because you're trading that tier 1 on safe lane, which isn't really important for a mid tower. And TA is pushing down mid right now. 1437, he has to be careful.
He really does. If you get the trap in the right place, he's dead, because Lich is not the type of hero that has any escape plan. Just trying to slow us down, though. He does have the Lich armor on the tower, but you're eventually going to give this over. No one wants to come to this lane to contest with Armel. Uh-oh. He just picked up a haste rune. And he sees 1437. He was
he definitely
could have triggered that trap, and that would have definitely been a kill.
He could have definitely, if he was fast enough there to just... well, he didn't know what Lich was doing, so...
Tim's top lane. Mumiana held in place with the X. It's going to be a torrent. Just buying enough time for Gabby to get across. They'll control him up, drag him back. Frost arrows out, and you are done here, good sir.
Yeah, that's such a quick off. The problem with this game right now for Tigers is... everything's a problem. Like the Drow, yeah, you killed her, yeah, you took this tier 1, but not fast enough. She hasn't been relegated to the jungle or anything like that. Like, she got her level 6. And if you don't pressure her super hard, then the TA rolls out of control. But you can't do that because the TA is dominating on her own, even without the Drow.
Speaking of TA, they're going in the Searing Chains. They get rid of the Refraction quickly. Needs to move away from this. Does have the meld available. The Sprout to hold him in place is going to melt down, so they can't find him. And in your dream, taking a lot of damage to the tower, needs to be careful. Armel could turn around on him in a second. No, Remnant forward. The drag back with the X is still going to be there from Tim, so they're clubbing in. The Laguna down. Mumianda is going to stay alive, but Belly will tick out. Cuckoo gets killed by the trees in return. They eventually kill off the Slayer of their father, and it ends up being a 2 for 3 in the end, but
I mean, it's
worth it at that point.
It's definitely worth it for them. It is 2 for 3, but at the same time, it's good. I think they're happy with that. Ember did take down that TA, like it wasn't on his own, but he did take her down, which slows down their pushes, and overall, they need to get whatever they can right now. Because in 30 seconds, Tome is going to be online, and once that Tome is up, you're going to have 2 supports with level 6. You're going to have Lich and the Phoenix, and after that you can actually teamfight properly versus them. It doesn't matter that you're behind a little bit. It doesn't matter that the TA had a good game. You're still going to be able to teamfight because you have these heroes that are really strong at doing that.
The only worry is actually when you look inside TNC, their supports are very defensive in a powerful way. The boat, the Winner's Curse, there's a lot of setup here for the TA.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true. The Winter's Curse can help, the boat definitely helps. Kunkka, we talked about this as a support. Like, one of his issues is he going to be able to do a lot in the laning stage? Because it's not easy, right? But once he gets that boat, he's a powerhouse support, definitely. He does so much.
He's been spotted here. Invis 1437 not being seen. Do they want to make a move? The lockdown is the problem. They're going to Icarus dive in, but what do you do? There's going to be an X actually on the Zephyr here. But they need to be careful. Kuki wants to get closer, but he can't.
That was really interesting. I expected Moon to maybe go closer.
For the Sprout?
Yeah, but I guess he was afraid that someone else is there. They don't see a Lich still.
It's also the paranoia is like, you look at it and you're going, okay, this Kuka doesn't actually have 6 yet. But there's a creep wave right here. And they almost, fell into that trap. Well, they almost set up a trap for TNC in the regards of the Ember with that top lane.
There we go. We see an X. Teams is just playing with them mid. Xing the Moon and just moving back afterwards.
I mean, that's kind of one of the beautiful things about Kunkka as a support, right? Is you can, once you've revealed, and you're like, most supports like, okay, I can't do anything here. You can. Xing someone up changes how they have to approach that scenario every time. Even if you don't attack them, they always have to be paranoid.
What do you think about the blink on TA instead of Dazzle this time? Like, he can...
This is super aggressive, but they have the means. They really do.
And the thing is, he also has the Drow, so his farming speed is not gonna suffer, really. Like, usually if you get the blink and you don't get the kills... Oh, we see Phoenix.
Oh, X controlling out the Phoenix. The boat's coming in. Not really needed, though. The silence ensured there would be no egg coming out. They get themselves a freebie.
Yeah, that Gust versus Phoenix is really good. Also, like, it's not an easy game for Phoenix. He can't really plant an egg anywhere, but in a defensive way. If he doesn't plant it in a defensive way, it can fall so easily until he's level 12, and he's not finding his levels. He's only level 6 now. They need to use this egg to get a good fight with the Tiny, because that Tiny has a blink now. So,
I mean, this is one of the beauties that actually comes out from Tiger's lineup, right? Is you look at the heroes, they can counter the Roche attempts earlier. There's a blink in the Avalanche, they're going to get the toss. Even throwing out the Chain Frost to ensure that Gabby dies quickly. The TPs are coming in though. Tim's is still here. Doesn't have the boat for 15 seconds. Going to be left to die, actually. His Wyvern does cancel the TP. He'll go for a TP of his own. Can he make it out in time? Yes, he can. Ajit does not have enough mana.
Yeah, had no mana to use that toss, so... I mean, this is very good by Tigers.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
These aggressive movements haven't been really thwarted like in the last game. Like last game, any aggressive movement that they made was just well read and countered. In this game, however, Yeah, they've had a few good reveals, especially this Blink now on Tiny.
That's a crucial one. Against these type of heroes, Tiny can just obliterate the lineup TNC. We said this was the hero to watch for the side of Tigers.
They are very squishy. And the thing is, this Tiny enables his team completely. Yeah, Ember can do it as well, but Tiny does so much more right now. So you have the Tiny plus the Phoenix, the Tiny plus the Ember. The Lina on top lane, she's not safe. The Tiny is going for her.
She is in a lot of trouble if she stays there. She's going to move to the tree line. Oh, Blink to check. She'll go for the TP out. They look in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, in the mid lane, actually, Armel gets a kill on a Zephyr. And that will enable the push onto the tier 1. This was the only thing they were worried about, as an egg getting dropped defensively.
That was a solo kill as well. Like, no one helped him. Not Kunkka, not Wyvern. He's just got him alone.
I mean, it made it so easy as well. As soon as you see those two heroes top, like, okay, they're ganking. And this is a typical thing we see. You gank one place, we gank elsewhere. 1-4-3-7 hit up. X torrent back. Won't even be needed. Armel just smashes through him in one hit.
Yeah, this TA has a constant double damage. Just running around with plus 130, even though she has no damage items, just the power threats.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We got to remember, guys, this is pre-Deso.
Yeah, this is pre-Deso. What's going to happen? Like, that Phoenix, he wasn't even able to dive out. Like, what's going to happen now when she gets that Desolator? Lina top lane.
Oh, going in. Searing Chain's going to be there. Cuckoo jumped on the Laguna in return to get rid of the Flame Guard. He'll live. And not a bad choice. Yes, you have to put Laguna on cooldown. No, Mumiana's come back. The Winner's Curse is going to be there. Move forward on In Your Dream. And now Mumiana, he looks on the wrong way. They'll actually kill off the Ember while the Nature's Prophet is still hunting for the retreating Lina that turned around.
Yeah, and she's going to be healed up a bit, so they're definitely not going to get that kill. 1437. Looking at Gabi on bot lane, but
he's just lurking. By the way, he's gone for phase boots. Didn't actually highlight this earlier. This is not the typical pick-off you see, but there's a pick-off. Or pick-up, rather.
All right.
Pick up a freebie. As Mumianda was trying to, what, cut the creep wave? This is
just a small little tree. Tree daddy.
Tree daddy is being relegated to, I don't know, tree babysitter at this point. They don't really rule in the woods.
They got 3 bounty runes as well, so only 1 for Tigers. As again, this game is kinda, I don't know, not looking too great for Tigers.
It's becoming worrisome right now, and Nature's thinking about going mid.
That's not happening. By the way, I don't know, you mentioned these phase boots on ledge, but...
Oh, Avalanche toss in the mid lane. Templar suddenly going to move with the remnants there. The boat's going to be too late. No! The Cold Embrace cannot save him. The Light Strike Array, the Laguna return. Nature's Prophet's going to fall. So 1-for-1 trade. They will all back up, but suddenly everything thrown on that mid-game, that mid-lane fight, and only 2 casualties.
I mean, they needed that so much. They needed that TA kill. Yeah, I mean, Drow is a powerhouse on her own, but she went for that hood. She's not doing a whole lot right now, but giving that aura, right? She's giving the aura to the TA. However, if the TA dies like that, that's definitely not good for TNC, and it's the best kill the Tigers can get. And one more thing that happened during that whole team fight is the fact that Phoenix was farming bottom, and he's getting his levels. This hero, it's very hard to make him work versus all the ranged heroes from like TA, Lina, and Drow. So you have these heroes that hit the attack so fast that it can't even, you can't put it aggressively until you're level 12. So giving some space to him is really good. It's really nice as well.
I'm thinking about Tina and what that would be now. Is that like your ability draft combo of the 2 heroes?
Yeah, TA and Lina, Tina, man.
Meet Tina with the Sonic Traps, the Fiery Souls, Refraction,
by the way,
and Light Strike Array.
There's a smoke happening on top.
There is. They're wrapping around. And In Your Dream is paranoid as all hell, as he should be. Well, just let it fall. The pings are coming out, though. Ninja Boogie knows about it. Spit down the wall. The Winner's Curse is going to be there. And now Spirit has no way out. There's going to be a Torrent boat combo with the Gust. He's gone.
Yeah, at the same time, Moon.
Yeah,
bottom lane anti-bot.
Oh, no, he pulled back and died. He came back in. They actually dropped the egg. Now turning around, trying to get the kill on the TA to get down to half HP. The egg is gone and they're in full retreat. The damage is too big here. Actually, just being kited out. The Cold Embrace is there. The tips follow. And Moon, the buyback, which paid for nothing.
Yeah.
He achieved nothing with it.
And Lina wasn't even there, man. She was on the other side of the map. I mean, that's what I was talking about. Like, you have this teamfight potential, but you don't have the levels. Like, you need levels on Phoenix so he can make the attack happen. Like, if he puts it so in front and they just focus it down, they kill it in an instant.
And now look what you've done. And this is the worst part. It's not just that you die like that. You drop the egg, and there's an immediate response from TNC which says, this is Roche.
They just take that Aegis so easily with the Desolator from TA and the Drow, obviously. So, yeah, it's all falling apart again for Tigers. Feels bad, man. But they still have ways of coming back. They have the team fight that's definitely necessary versus Drow. They have that team fight potential. But it's getting harder and harder as this Lina. You talked about the Tina hero, and you mentioned that it should have the Fiery Souls, right?
Yeah.
Well, Fiery Souls are one of the best things versus the egg as well.
It's true. And we're starting to see this transition, right? Lina's picked up the Yules. That's all you need. Now you're going to Shadow Blade. I don't know if we're going to see a Bloodstone this game. I think that's just the wrong choice. You maybe just go all in and then start going, for example, MKB, Daedalus.
I mean, you're the offlane here, right? So, I mean, what matters is that you're not mid. And because of that, you can be a bit greedier when it comes to your items. You can go for these pick-off items. And I believe that's the right choice as well. I think it's good.
They're attempting to pick off here, but Moon, he gets out just in time, breaks the smoke as well. Armel, he was hunting. He won't find anything though.
They're playing so well when it comes to these, like, pick-offs in the trees. Even, yeah, and the wards on top lane as well. You can see this cliff ward that scouted Ember. And because of that, you can always kind of move in with the Winter Wyvern and use your Winter's Curse to set up. It's not easy for them to catch Ember, but they've been doing it so well so far. Oh, we see Phoenix here.
Nope.
Oh,
doesn't have the egg. And the Scout 1437 almost dies. The X is going to draw back the Templar Assassin. Time just wrong. He'll be escaping from this alive. But Zephyr is here in the tree. He just revealed himself, though, so there's going to be no surprise egg. They're just backing up. They're paranoid about Ninja Boogie. He's trying to get close enough for the Winner's Curse, but just out of range. He'll back off here, but they even scout him with a Courier at this stage.
Yeah, if they... that Courier Scout... That's awesome. Even if they used Winter's Curse on Tiny there, it doesn't matter on who they did it, they would have won that fight. And that's just scary. They can start the fight whatever way they like to.
And it's the fight top here. Tims, he's found a target. Mumian, he can't get out. No! He just disappears. He wanted those bounties so badly, and actually he didn't even... No, he got it. He did get it. All right, he dies.
Did he? Oh, he got it.
Yeah,
nice.
he did. I'm surprised by that. It looked like he was torn in the air, but you know, worth it for a POS 5 natures. No, wait, no.
That's not the position 5. How
Avalanche toss. This is the big one that we're looking for. The Serum Chain's coming out. TA's going to turn around and start hitting because he does have that second life. G needs to back up here. Will not have toss for 4 more seconds. They're going to bring him back up. There's no response coming in. Armel still alone here. The Chain Frost bouncing through. He's going to die. They get him twice, and a huge error coming out from TNC. They should not have had the TA there alone at any point.
Yep.
Zephyr in the mid lane. Winner's Curse going to be there. The Gust as well. A little bit of a waste, actually, but they should still be able to get the kill in time. The Light Striker ready to ensure it with the Torrent is gone. And this should enable them to push on this tier 2 despite the fact they don't have the TA. They're a little bit paranoid and they should be because In Your Dream is moving around the back. Mumiano with the backstab. The Serum Chains do not connect. Ninja Boogaloo going to move away with the Glimmer Cape. There's going to be a boat coming in. The Cold Embrace to buy him a little bit of time. No casualties but the Wyvern. He'll be happy with that outcome.
Yeah, I mean, you bought back the Phoenix for that, so it's definitely not the kill that you wanted, but it's the kill that you got, so they only get the Winter Wyvern. It's still not worth it for them. They did stop that push, though, so there's that. But the TA was dead. You want to have a better fight there. They needed to set up a bit better. Maybe wait with the Phoenix buyback before they caught someone.
Yules, they found the bird. He drops the egg just in time. The Avalanche does not connect. They laugh in the face of Tigers as they just move out of range of this egg.
Yeah, and that was a level 2 egg, and it was just wasted for nothing. So the cooldown is the same on all levels. So 110 seconds without that egg is gonna allow TNC to do whatever they want to from now on.
Well,
and it seems like the Drow is actually catching up with farm as well. She has the Yasha, the Pike. She's gonna be hitting super hard now too.
She's going for the Manta style. We've seen this kind of come back, but there's very few heroes range that build this because, of course, the higher cooldown, right, on the mana is 15 seconds longer than for melee heroes.
Yeah, it's not the best option. It's good versus some silences and roots. So, yeah, it's good versus Fire Spirits from Phoenix. It's good versus Chains from Ember, I suppose. But besides that, it kind of beefs you up as well versus the Tiny combo. So it's a nice pickup.
There's also the case of once you get to level 25, of course, with the 50% cooldown reduction, it means you don't actually care about that longer cooldown anymore.
That helps, definitely.
Speaking of the Drow, Ajit looking for the opportunity to move in. The X-Torrent's going to be in the back, but 1437 get found first. The stick try and keep him alive. The sun rate won't be enough. Templar Assassin ruined on the spot. Needs to be careful. The bow's coming in. Armel, he just walks straight into it. But he's fine. He's going to get buffed up. Going to turn around. The double kill coming up for Kuku already. The X control is there, but no, you can't dodge out the torrent. The BKB, Armel moving forward, and you need to go in full retreat on this Ember Spirit. Just using the Yules to ensure he can do so. But on the back foot, left behind, Ajit, he's getting no support from this. The Sprout to hold Armel in place. He might actually fall here. Yes, he goes down. The torrent connecting on the two. Mumian's going to fall as well. They need to get back in the base. In your dreams. They might actually chase it. They still see him. The Frost Arrow's coming out. He's slowed. He's dead. The Sunray from Zephyr, the Gust, he's going to die as well. No. They wiped the side of Tigers. The buyback coming out from Ember, but he needs to be careful about this because the Drow is still standing strong.
That's the only buyback they've got. They have no one else. Your Lich and your Tiny just died back.
That's problematic here. I mean, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at this fight, and they still come away with only a kill under the Templar Assassin.
That's definitely very problematic. Well, it's not only TA, but it doesn't really matter because your base is falling.
I mean, the important part is, like, because TA got into that boat, it took them 2-3 seconds extra, and you think, it's only 2-3 seconds. But that time in a fight that chaotic, wasted on one target.
It means so much. Every single second means so much in these fights. And the Drow, man, does she bring the pain now, right?
Oh,
that
she
amount
really
of
does.
damage, yeah.
Ninja Boogie on a D-Warden mission. Might pay a price for it, though. He's going to hide on the high ground, but Mumianda should be able to get him. He'll have a Sprout available. There we go. Searing Chains. Wyvern dies for a noble cause. Yeah. Buys a lot of time, actually, with the Cold Embrace. They still haven't killed him yet.
I mean, he did buy some time, but I really like that Sprout. I think that Sprout was meant to just give them vision of him, but it actually pushed him from the high ground down, so he dies even faster, which is nice.
I mean, just imagine for a second how much time he would have bought if he was still in that high ground.
Yeah, that's true.
The Cold Embrace plus the mischance. RNG is a cruel mistress.
Overall, though, when you look at this Tigers lineup, we talked about this. They like the only hero that can really right-click here is the Prophet. Like the Tiny, he went for that Echo Saber, but it's very hard for him to hit anyone. It's hard for him to get into position to do it. So they have to rely on these team fights. And if they... I don't know.
Oh, up to the high ground. Searing Chains controlling Armel. They can move forward. It's the Avalanche. The toss coming out. Armel with the BKB just time. The boat's flying in the torrent as well. They should be able to back up, reset here, but they do force the BKB and Armel gets nothing for it.
I mean, that's good for them. They definitely need to force this BKB because we talked about this right now, right? So you have the Tiny that doesn't really hit too well, and you have the Furion that's building into the right-click damage, which you definitely need. However, if all you've got is the team fight, like that TA pops the BKB and she does whatever she wants to. So getting that BKB a bit lower is definitely necessary. They're doing fine.
I mean, it's all about exploitable value you can get out of the first four. I'd say the first four BKB charges are the most important. Yeah. Then it's just a BKB you'll pop whenever. But if, for example, if you're forced to just use an 8 or 9 second BKB to run away, it's kind of condemning because it's the crucial moment. In these fights, they can take that long, and it makes all the difference.
Yeah, we saw that on mid, right? Because she survived a few extra seconds. Now they're ranked up. Yeah.
Moon's just got soloed again, and there's no mercy here. Armel's traps. Oh, sorry, Armel's traps.
Armel's traps, there you go.
Can never underestimate them here. He was about to walk away, but not able to do so. Lina did go for the Bloodstone, by the way, which is going to increase the farm rate, of course, because you just spam out constantly.
Yeah, she can spam out constantly. She's tankier as well, so she's harder to kill with just a few spells.
She hits for 300 right now because of that Drow Aura.
Yeah, Drow Aura, man.
Actually insane. I mean, look, they're just poking, but they're going to slowly lose their base. They actually need to make a move, but Nature's Prophet not there for 15 more seconds. It's going to cost you a few buildings.
The best part is TA isn't even committing. Like, she's just landing traps and staying back. It was all Lina and Drow there, and you still couldn't fight it. And now your shrine is just threatened, and the shrine is going to fall.
And Roche is actually going to spawn in a minute and a half, so TNC, they don't have to be in a rush to end this. They still have so much control.
They have moved up, though. There's Blink on Wyvern.
Oh, moving in. The Winner's Curse coming out. Connecting on Zephyr. No! The bird's going to die before we can do anything. Now the Gust coming in. There's going to be a vote. It will not connect onto Tiny in time. But your Phoenix is dead. Does not have a buyback available. And that is the most important hero for this high ground defense.
Yeah, you don't have that Phoenix with Whale, so you don't really have the damage that's necessary to kill off these squishy heroes such as Lina and Drow. and your axes are just falling. You can't really fight.
The toss back in RMLT. They might be able to game it. The BKB comes out though, just in time. They'll turn around. The stun controls down. The Tiny's going to fall. No chance against this. On the other side, Gabby just tanking everything as they dive deeper and find the kill on 1437. In your dream, he's going to have to create a dream, a wish, a nightmare for the side of TNC if he wants to hold this base.
I'm not certain he can do that.
That's all right. Someone went back to deal with Moon.
There we go.
This is the turn they need. Oh, the Yule's coming out though. Ember's pretty deep here. The torrent control is dead. 90 seconds. GG gets called. Tigers. That one error. It looked like maybe with a leaner force back they could do something, but the jump forward by Ember too soon cost them the series.
I mean, it was only the Ember that could have went there. So it's a hard position if you're an Ember trying to 1v4 them. Even if the Lina did go back, like that's usually how you deal with. Well, it's not right now how you deal with pushes, but it was long time ago. If you remember Alliance, just split push with one hero, force someone to go back, and then pour that hero back so you're fighting 5 versus 4 or 5 versus 3. That's great, but it's not really great when you're 2 sides down and everyone is dead and no one has buybacks.
I mean, I was scurrying through the stats because, you know, you're at that stage, you look up and it seems like we hadn't even talked about the net worth at any point because obviously it was just skyrocketing. It was getting out of control. They were 26k up. And you know what the most important thing to look for in those advantages is you check current gold. Because what's happening? Because TA had like 5,000 gold, but wasn't even pressured to pick up items or wait.
She was waiting for the rapier, man.
Clearly.
300 gold more, right?
I mean, you're like, you know, I want to one-hit everyone. This is kind of the problem with their draft, is they became so focused on the TA. But at the same time, it took them so long to finally kill the TA that by that point, Lina and Drow were heroes.
So this is the problem. You have TA on mid, and you have to deal with her. And she's solo killing your Ember, right? So you have to put someone with the Ember to deal with the TA. But the problem truly isn't the TA, it's the Drow. The Drow is giving all the ammunition to the TA. She's giving her all she needs, and that's the aura. So actually what you have to do is not deal with the TA, but with the Drow. But you can't deal with the Drow because the TA is solo killing your mid. So you're stuck in this never-ending loop. As a support, it's very hard for you to decide what you have to do. Like, if you go offlane with that Phoenix to help out the Prophet, then the TA is solo killing everyone and stomping you.
I mean, let's not be deceitful here. This was the Benny Hills of drafts, right?
Yeah.
It's just, you could just imagine Tigers, even if they had smooth lanes, they're going to be running back and forth across the map, being tugged left to right here. And they're the team in the Nature's Prophet, and being in that scenario is not the intention with your draft.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, the problem with their draft is, what do you do once that TA and Drow have BKBs? Drow didn't even go for that BKB. What do you do? Like, what's your right click? What's your solution to the TA with the BKB? You have a really good team fighting potential, but your right clicks are lacking so much. You have a mid Ember and a Tiny. These heroes really like to create space to blow up heroes, right? With the toss, with the remnants in, with the chains, with the flame break. But they don't really do a lot of right click until super later on when Ember has right click damage as well.
I mean, that was the insanity. I was looking at the draft. I was like, okay, it's looking good for TA here. And how does Tigers bounce back? And you immediately look and you go, they have got Nature's Prophet. That can be pretty spicy at times. And the Tiny should be able to create this zonal buffer, which he struggled with a lot. But then I was like, okay, but they've got an Ember. An Ember late game, come on. One of the best heroes in the late game scenario. Keeps waves pushed out. But this was an Ember that was forced to go for a Yule's first. He wasn't even farming well because of that. And he had to have that because of the Drow.
Yeah, Yule's Maelstrom is usually the build on Ember right now. But still, in this particular game, it didn't do enough. It definitely didn't.
Well, guys, that's not actually it. There is more action to come. I mean, that does mean first series done, and, well, you know, it's a good way to warm up with a little bit of a... I don't think there's any way other to put that. That was a stomp of a series.
Yeah, it was really quick. Like, the first game, 25-5, this game, 33-14, and both games sub 30 minutes.
20-minute and then 28-minute finishes. So congratulations to TNC, but obviously the action's not over. They haven't secured their place yet. The schedule dictates that we play more games. We'll be going to a short break. It shouldn't be long before we're back with another best of 3. Stay tuned.
ESL One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Alienware, Logitech G, and Pay Safecard.